Hi
Hello.
again.
Hello.
How are you today?
Do you really want to know? You see, you don't want to
Oh,
know.
okay, let's talk about it. Signe, we have some more questions from our viewers. This week, I would like to talk about a question asked by both Brett and Marco. Brett said, "What can your friend do to help?" And Marco said, "How can someone be of help when those things happen, meaning when depression hits?"
So friends.
Yes, friends.
What friends can do.
Yes.
Um, I don't have any friends.
I'm your friend.
Okay.
How about, let's say, well, since last week you talked about how it's a very private um, experience being depressed, and it's actually not very visible to people around you, to people like me. But let's say, what about your boyfriend? Someone who is close enough. Um, do you, I mean, is it helpful enough just to have somebody listen?
Well, I don't know. I mean, meaning, there's nothing to say, really. There's nothing to talk about. It's
Okay.
just, you have to get through, and it's on your own, like when you have a pain in your foot,
Mm-hmm.
it's you limping, nobody else can limp for you.
True.
So you can, whine about it, but more you whine about it, more harder it is for you to get through. So sometimes it's good not to talk about it. But
Okay.
with the friends,
Mm-hmm.
is that one part, when you're depressed, you want to be left alone.
Okay.
You want to be completely alone, and you want to be left alone. But the other thing is, when you're depressed, you should not be left alone. So yes, so there is this push and pull. You want to get rid of everybody around you. You want to kind of encapsulate and just like, I don't know, wait it out on your own, right? But alone. At the same time, more you encapsulate, more you run away from other people, the longer it lasts, more painful it is.
I see.
So it is good to have people. It is good for people to reach out. And as I mentioned before, I don't like that, people bite my hands when I try to help them. So I try not to bite other people's hands when they try to help me. But sometimes it's hard. Sometimes you want to be alone.
I see. But you do think it's important maybe to go out with friends and to distract yourself from being alone with your depression, no? Or
there were times when I would work during the day, so I would be with people. I would just barely drag myself through the day working, right? And press myself together like this, press just to get through the day. And then once I get out, I'm uncompressing and going wild and crazy to party here, party there, drinking and carousing and dancing, showing my naked ass, shaking my booties. I mean, and then at the end, you wake up the next day and you are even 300 times more depressed.
oh, really?
I don't know, because you spend so much energy.
Yeah.
Because you spent everything that you had,
Exhausted.
your mental powers, you spent on partying.
Okay.
So, but then you have to go to work, and now you cannot. There's no choice, because you have to pay rent and you have to be responsible. So you go through the day again, compressing tightly. So sometimes it's not a good idea to go out.
Okay.
And having all this social activity afterwards,
I
because
see.
it is consuming your mental activity. But it is sometimes nice to have, or good to have, a quiet social thing with a friend in a familiar surroundings, like your own apartment, where you two of you hopefully not drinking
Not drinking. Okay.
I shouldn't say anything against alcohol. I like drinking.
Okay.
But it is, as in any medication, you have to be very careful how much you take it.
Mm-hmm.
I guess as to friends, what friends could do
Mm-hmm.
is that I guess what I could only ask from from people around me, is that they would understand and forgive, and not as that I am doing horrible things to other people, but things sometimes that I say that maybe are like strange, right, or something,
Okay.
and I burn myself in hell later on that I said something horrible, or to my opinion horrible, and or some people say, oh, that was the wrong thing to do, and I sometimes cannot not do things or behave strangely because I it's like it's sometimes not possible, so I try to do my best, and I'm hoping that everyone would forgive me as I forgive them.
Great. Okay. Well, thank you for talking today. Can I give you a hug?
No.
Really?
No,
Okay.
move away from me.
That's not something I should do as a friend.
No hugs, okay? You can blow me a kiss.
Okay.
That's all it is. I hate hugs. I hate being hugged.
I'm not a huge fan of them either.
Okay, good.
Let's
So
wave.
just wave.
Let's wave. See you next week.
See you next week.